G'day everybody, it's Grizz here. Just thought I'd do a quick video review of Horizon Zero Dawn. So it's the 20th of February today in Europe. It's actually the 21st in Australia, and I've actually been lucky enough to have played this for about a week beforehand. So I can tell you right now, I've been all the way through it. It is an absolutely fantastic game. That week was a pleasure. Okay, just a quick warning before we begin. I'm going to be overlaying this voice across some gameplay of me hunting a Thunderjaw. Now, if you don't want to know what a Thunderjaw is, or how to kill it, or anything like that, then maybe don't watch this. But I picked the Thunderjaw because, you know what, it's been shown in preview material at E3 and all that sort of stuff, and I thought I'd challenge myself by taking off the reticle and kicking it up to very hard difficulty. So if you want to see Horizon Zero Dawn at its absolute angriest, continue to watch, but understand that I have to cut away every now and then to different footage just to keep Sony's review guides happy. My apologies, their rules, nothing I can do about it. But I imagine you're wondering, what the hell is Horizon Zero Dawn? How does it start? What's it about? Picture this. It's Earth, the distant future. Over the course of many centuries, small decimated tribes of humanity have clawed their way back into some semblance of civilization. Their efforts are constantly stymied, however, by these megafauna machines of unknown origin. How do we screw the Robo-Pooch this bad? That's a story to be uncovered by our heroine, Aloy, as she siphons through memory code fragments from the old world. Fittingly, playing Horizon Zero Dawn itself feels like you're sifting through the old code of gaming past. But while the genre greats this game shamelessly cribs from are old, the joy it weaves manages to feel fresh and new. Every hour or so, you'll get this pang of deja vu as you recognise this game or that. When you're getting your RPG on in settlements, doing errands, selecting from dialogue wheels and watching the digital acting play out, Horizon Zero Dawn feels like a top-notch Witcher 3. Later still, when the action moves out in the wild blue yonder, the main event of this game, the whiff of Far Cry Primal is pungent. Even the most focused adventurer can be lured away with this crazy loop of reaping various flora and fauna that's out there. I mean, just you try and resist being a kleptomaniac when your pool of life and homemade arrows come from twigs and berries. And hey, who wouldn't want to be lured away to aimlessly gallivant across a countryside that looks this gorgeous? Killzone Shadowfall showed us right out of the gate that Guerrilla Games knew how to ride the PS4 harder than anybody, maybe even Naughty Dog. This is yet another level above that previous benchmark. Everywhere feels like a lived-in space. I mean, you've got these NPCs just constantly thrusting exposition and side quests at you like they're charity muggers, and you have to beat them away with a stick. In short order, learning the rich history of this world quickly becomes something of a drug. When it comes to bashing heads, Horizon Zero Dawn is just as addictive. Aloy is primarily a distance fighter, relying on a modest array of bows and ammo types that offer handling and damage boosts for different situations, like hurried mid to close range encounters or planned sniping from cover. This particular encounter I'm showing you right now is late stage in the game. If I was to try to brute force it, or any other encounter, up to say 10 hours in, I would get absolutely smashed. You don't try to take on 3 Robo Sabertooths and belt them with your last resort spear. It's messy at best and death sentence at worst. Aloy's strengths lie in her shrewdness. Early on, you acquire an old world trinket called a Focus, which really helps you out in combat. Think of it as Google Glass that offers Batman detective mode levels of insight. Pre-tagging enemies before a scrap is a good practice. Revealing their patrol paths is even better. And X-ray noting their major components and elemental weaknesses is the best idea you've had all day. The bookworms among you should definitely hit the logs at this point to better discern what these components on the beast do and how you can stop it from doing the attacks that piss you off the most. For example, is the giant robo-bird strafing you with lasers or mortar fire? Before you go ham on his main critical point, maybe use your bullet time skill to target and shatter the circuitry tied to those attacks. Every bot feels like a mini boss battle in this regard, and the stakes, complexity, and sheer fun factor gets raised as the game continues, and especially when you're asked to constantly deal with large groups of them. In truth, Horizon Zero Dawn is best played like a stealth RPG, in any difficulty above normal. Aloy is spry and unbounded by any sort of stamina meter, so when an encounter goes wrong, it's a cinch to break contact, obscure line of sight, and retreat to the safety of tall grass. From here, you can reposition, re-engage, or divide and conquer your foes with guerrilla tactics. Typically this includes throwing lures, dropping electrified rope, or just stabbing people from the bushes. The main quest took me about, I'd say, 18 to 20 hours, I think it said, and that was at a pretty single-minded pace because I chose to mop up all the side content after the credits. And let me tell you, there is a lot of side quests and a lot of things to do, including cauldron encounters which allow you to effectively override and tame some of the robots to work for you, or you can ride some of them. Not all of them, unfortunately. The story itself I liked a lot. You know, it charted the journey of Aloy from this sort of spurned outcast through the mysteries of her origins and all of this new life on Earth, and it wrapped up in a crisis that only she could avert, naturally. Supporting characters like the bumbling, big-hearted screw-up, Erend, and a mysterious benefactor voiced by Lance Reddick are also pretty good standouts. As for downsides, there's not much I can level at this game. It does pretty much everything right. I mean, the occasional, I guess, really rare sort of robotic head movement during the sort of line deliveries, which is absolutely patchable. And I suppose if you could point to one specific weakness in the overall package, nitpickers would probably zero in on the narrative. Some beats are a touch predictable, and there's this underutilized villain who starts off with this impressive menace, and it sort of fizzes out a little bit. But you know what? Bottom line, those are really minor peccadillos. For the most part, this offers a touching, more than satisfying ending which leaves the sequel door open, and I am absolutely itching to walk through that door. Now that the game is finished, you know, most of my time is spent just walking about in a daze, wondering how the hell Horizon Zero Dawn is this good. Guerrilla Games has gone from basically having no stake in any of the genres it's attempting here. RPGs, platforming, open world gaming, or even just third-person shooting. They've gone from no experience in any of those fields to this. Every single discipline attempted has been mastered, and this is a truly remarkable must-have experience that plays just as good as it looks. You should absolutely check this out because a new franchise has dawned.